Hello, everyone. 'Tis been a while. Welcome to Crep from the 80s. I am your host, Chris Seaver, and I am here for a little haul video, but not just a haul video. I'll be showing off some of my 80s books as well, but I do have a toy haul video. It's been a few months since I've been on, and in those months I've been on vacation, and some of the things that I got here are from that vacation. And they are a part of the retro Kenner line for Star Wars and Indiana Jones. So if you know my Star Wars history, I've talked about it before. Star Wars toys, other than like Mr. Potato Head and Tiddlywinks or whatever it was, Fisher Price toys, or Speak and Spells and any of that stuff. Star Wars was really the first like action figure toy I got, and it was really when the Empire line happened, and that's when my family just started getting nothing but Star Wars toys for me. And so some of these I originally had, and some I never had. But I like this line. I like this retro line. And this is part of the first 12. I have the other 6 already. I bought them new in this retro line, but I had some already from my childhood, because they would keep redoing the characters. Even if it was Return of the Jedi, you could still get a Bespin Luke or whatever, things of that nature. So I do like these retro lines. I love that it's just a repro of the originals. I love that I don't have to pay ridiculous amounts of money for them, and I still get that same feeling. I do hate the sticker here for the retro, but this set came with C-3PO, R2-D2, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Death Squad Commander, Jawa, and Tusken Raider. And here they are. Now, I have my original Obi-Wan Kenobi that is downstairs with the Star Wars stuff. So I'll probably leave this one in its box and hang it up down with the Star Wars stuff. Again, I hate these, like the retro sticker thing. It's just disgusting. But there's that. So I'll keep him in. And I do have C-3PO and R2-D2 already. However, these are, obviously in really nice looking shape, and they're crisp and clean, and I probably will open these guys up for sure. I don't need to keep these on card, but because I have scenarios, in the setup downstairs of different of Star Wars, Empire, and Return of the Jedi, and I can put them wherever I want, really. And then these guys, I did have a Jawa, and I did have a Tusken Raider back in the day, but I'm going to open these guys up. I definitely did not have a Death Squad Commander because I didn't give a crap about that. So I'll be opening these guys up for sure. But I love when Hasbro does this stuff. Hasbro owns Kenner, and I just it doesn't matter that they're not the originals. It really does take me back, just seeing them, holding them, and it's like having them new, So these will get opened up. And as you saw in a previous video, so Kenner had a Raiders of the Lost Ark line back in the day, and I never got any of those. And so thanks to Hasbro Kenner now, they've re-released them, and I have them. Now, LJN had the line for Temple of Doom, and I am. Temple of Doom is my favorite Indiana Jones movie. I'm a big Indiana Jones kid. Saw it in the theater. I was dressed up as Indiana Jones. My aunt, I had the whole thing, and even a stone that was in my knapsack slung around. But I had the jacket, I had the shirt. She put fake stubble on me. I had the fedora, everything. I had a whip. So I saw Indiana Jones on the theater, and it was amazing. I loved it. So Temple of Doom is my favorite. And so with the LJN line, they only made like 3 or 4 figures, and I certainly never saw them, ever. So Kenner, to stick with their Raiders look and to stick with that retro feel, they have made not only Temple of Doom figures, but also Last Crusade figures, which I will be getting as well. But so here is Indy, which, and again, they're keeping with the original look of the Raiders line, which is awesome, the card. And here is Short Round. And I will be, now with these ones and the Raiders, I will be getting doubles and opening them up, along with keeping them on the wall, because I really love the look. The aesthetic pleases me. But it's very cool to have a Short Round figure after all these years. I'm hoping they make more from the movie. I see that they have a few more for Last Crusade than they do Temple of Doom right now, but we'll see. Hopefully there'll be more. And I want some like I know with the Raider set, they had a bunch of play sets, and they're out there and they're really expensive to get the originals. So I'm hoping they recreate those as well. Also, this was a cool find. The Elf game. I had no idea. Even back then, I didn't know an Elf game existed, and I was, a pop culture fiend living in the 80s. I gobbled everything up, but I certainly did not know there was a Elf game, and all the pieces are in there. This was a cool little find. There was an older woman who had a bunch of this stuff in her attic, a bunch of different stuff. And I was in a parking lot, and she had like the back of her car open, and you could see like just a bunch of like garage sale looking stuff. And so she saw my car, and my car has the Ghostbuster, the sign, the Ghostbuster ghost on either side of my, front doors. And then on the back is just a bunch of 80s stickers. And so she was just like, hey, do you like Elf? Clearly seeing the stuff that was on my car. And I'm like, yeah, I love Elf. Of course I do. I grew up in the 80s. I love Elf. And so she pulls this game out of her back, out of the back of her car. And she's like, here. So I was like, what? Really? Yeah, and she was just telling me all these stories about her grandson or her son or something like that. And she was telling me all this other stuff that she might have in her attic. And I'm like, oh, man, give me your number. Because if you find something cool, and I told her sort of what I was interested in, and she was talking a lot about like the Dukes of Hazzard and stuff like that, which I did watch, but it wasn't like a huge thing for me growing up. But just very cool. A very cool, odd interaction that led to me now owning the Elf game, which is pretty sweet. Pretty good. Now, this is fun. This is cool. So I definitely am a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan. I think all of us 80s kids were, and certainly 90s kids, because it just kept going. It didn't stop. But in 88, the toy line started. The cartoon really took off. I mean, it started in the late 87, but like really took off then. 88, I was 11. Um, but you better believe that I was getting Turtles toys. And I got a shit ton of them. I really did. And the play sets and the vehicles and the pizza shooter and the party wagon and all of that stuff. And I got Turtle stuff probably up until 91. So when I was 14, and that's really when I stopped a lot of uh toy play. But I started to collect and actually like hang them on my wall and leave some in the packages and then put some out to display and stuff like that. I've talked about that before. So I stopped. I mean, they were getting crazy, but I stopped right around the time they were getting really ridiculous with all the stuff, the turtle toys. And in that time, you know, 87, 88, I was reading the comics as well, which were very different but awesome. And then I was also reading the Archie's comics that were coming out for the Turtles in the variety of, they had mutant animals and things like that. And there was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Adventures and stuff like that. And I got a lot of those and they were fun. They were really fun, but they also introduced a lot of those odd, weird characters that they started to reproduce in toy form. Anyway, long story short, the Turtles have never gone away since 84, since their inception. They have been around for every generation since then. And this new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon movie, the animated movie, looks pretty good as far as I'm concerned. And I like, obviously, the anime style, the animation style. It's very reminiscent of what they did with Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, those Spider-Man movies, but in the Turtles world. And I like it. I like the aesthetic, and I like the designs. Very pleasing to me. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm probably going to get those toys. Now, NECA and Super 7, and I mean, these companies have been making these amazing turtle toys for years, and I do have a few of them over there mixed in with some of my originals. And then, of course, like everything, Playmates has been reproducing the original turtle toys. And so some of the ones that I didn't have, I have been getting as well. And they look fantastic, and they're the same molds and everything. And I love that. I love, one, sticking it to, flippers and nostalgia taxers. And two, I love that the companies are doing that. They're playing on my nostalgia, and I'm okay with it. Nostalgia can be a very, divisive word and divisive feel for a lot of people. But for me, I want it all. I am a nostalgia junkie, so they're hitting me in the spot, and I love it. So anyway, with those NECA and the Super 7 and stuff like that, they're just so expensive. So I can't even imagine trying to get all of those, but I have a few. I do have a few. So, a couple days ago, the Mutant Mayhem line, the toy line, launched at Target, and sure enough, I went in and I grabbed up the ones that I found aesthetically pleasing. And so here they are, and I will be opening these. So here's Raphael from the line. Michelangelo. Yo, Leonardo. Yes, Donatello. Donatello. Bebop. I don't know about Rocksteady. Again, it's aesthetics to me. It's not about collecting every one and having them because I'm not like that. I get what I like. And the Rocksteady just, I don't know. I'm not too fond of the look, but Bebop looks fairly as he does. See this Rocksteady, I don't know. I don't know if I like it. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll like him in the movie, and that'll change my tune, and I'll want to get him. And then of course Leatherhead, which was a great figure in the original line. I definitely like the look of Leatherhead right here. So those are the turtle things I got out of that new Mutant Mayhem. You know, it's pretty cool. I'll be opening them. I'll probably get that party wagon that's coming out because it is a party wagon that's mixed with the pizza shooter and all that stuff, and I did like that, so I'll probably get that. But yeah, you know, very cool, very cool. Now I wanted to show off some of the 80s themed books that I have. Some are from the 80s. And some are new, and they have to do with 80s properties. And this is sort of along with a series of videos I'm going to be doing coming up very quickly after this. I'll be showing off a lot of my horror books and my movie making, like the behind the scenes of certain movies and whatnot, those books. Figured I'd do like a little book series, you know, that pertain to all the things that I love. So I'll start with some of this stuff. This is a nice little chunk of 80s books. Tale of the Dark Crystal. This is fun. Centurion's sticker book. Centurions! Great toy line. Jason the Wheeled Warriors, or Wheeled Warrior. The cartoon was Jason the Wheeled Warriors, but the toys were Wheeled Warriors. I do have I did have a bunch of the Wheeled Warriors toys. The cartoon is badass. And my Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. This was gifted to me by a one Bobby Heckman. A Tale of High Adventure. Masters of the Universe. And I believe this had a record with it. I did have a bunch of books like this with the record, and it would tell the story. I had a bunch of different, like, you know, growing up, different theme books like that. He-Man Smells Trouble. Stinkor. My God, Porco, no. Then, you know, I always get these magazines that are on the rack in grocery stores and bookstores and whatnot. This is the Awesome 80s one. We got that. And then we got The Art of Masters of the Universe Revelation. I really like this new animated show, and I'm looking forward to Revolution, the new 5-part that's coming up. That's a sequel to this. I really dug it. I know a lot of, whiny fans didn't like it, but hey, that sucks for them. It's dope for me. More He-Man, you know? Also, this really great book from Mark Bellomo, who also, he did the, I have a couple of toy books that toy guides, price guides and all that stuff from him. But this is Totally Tubular 80s Toys, which is a great book. Really covers most, if not all, the stuff that I coveted and had as a child, and then some. I mean, it really goes into a lot of great detail on games and figures. Oh, speak of the devil, look at that. We got that Indiana Jones. Yeah, look at that. Right. Great book. This is also pretty dope. The Filmation Generation. We grew up, us 80s kids, we had, and we were born in the 70s. We were seeing the tail end of all this stuff, and all of it just kept going. It was amazing, and this covers all of that stuff, even the Ghostbusters cartoon that they did, and of course He-Man and all of this stuff. It's a great book, really fun. I've read this book twice, actually. It's just fascinating. Great story, good stuff. Filled with magic and mayhem and nostalgia and almighty Isis and oh, another one of those books. Look at this, Newsweek, the 80s. It was the best decade, people. I mean, it just was. You can argue with me, but unfortunately, you would be wrong thinking a different decade was better than the 80s. Because the 80s rule. And I'll never let them go. Best movies of the 1980s. Action-packed. This is great. This is also a book that I've read a couple times. Truly, some amazing stories and insights and eye-opening stuff in this book. And I really love this book. This is wild. If you were an 80s nut and if you love the John Hughes films like I do, you need to get this book. It's pretty incredible. And like I said, eye-opening. Very interesting stories. Yes, indeed. But yeah, it's great. It is great. Look at this. The greatest cartoons of the 80s. Totally awesome. Ooh. We even got Spider-Man and his amazing friends. Yeah, this is a great trip. Boy, did I love Spider-Man and his amazing friends. That's a great cartoon. It is on Disney Plus, actually, because you cannot get it on physical media here in the States, unfortunately. But I loved that cartoon growing up. Look at this. They got a section on Muppet Babies. I mean, this book is totally awesome. And then this beast. Oh no, let's do this one. This is also a great trip down memory lane. And it's like a Trapper Keeper. Look at that. Look at how clever. toys, games, and other stuff from the 80s that rocked. I've had a lot of these for quite some time, actually. But, yeah, good stuff. Seek this stuff out if you're an 80s fiend. I'm sure a lot of you nuts already have them. We got this bitch. The Toys of Masters of the Universe. This guy is incredible. I mean, this goes through every toy line. It's got the classics. It's got the 2002 stuff in here. It's got the Super 7 Filmation line, which I have up on my wall over there. But yeah, I mean, this guy is... This is awesome, guys. Worth the price. It's a hefty bitch. I love it. And I haven't even finished it. There's so much. And then, once again, gifted to me by one of my best friends is... he used to get these in the mail, which he found odd because he is not a huge Masters of the Universe fan. But this was the Masters of the Universe magazine that would come in the mail. So Bobby Heckman gifted these to me one year, just out of the blue. What a mensch. Thank you, Bobby, for these. I have looked through them all and read them all. And they all have posters too, and I'm waiting to... I want to get some frames, and I'll be hanging some of these posters up from the magazine. But so yeah, that's it, guys. That's it for this chunk, this video. Of course, I have TV guides. I have been collecting TV guides for a few years now. I got a bunch of them. I got to get more. Of course, only the 80s TV guides. I'll get a couple of the early 90s as well. But yeah, I mean, TV guides. Come on now. You gotta love them. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it took you back a little bit. Hope you felt a little childlike wonder within your nips, tips, and double dips. So that's it for now, guys. I've got a lot of stuff going on. I am in pre-production. We're gonna be shooting in less than 20 days for my new film, and it's exciting. It's stressful, and it's coming up quick. So I mean, it's really the only thing that's been taking up my time and my brain energy is this flick. So it's coming up fast and furious. So there we go. But that's it. Oh, I've been seeing a lot of movies too. A lot of great movies. There's I gotta talk about this stuff. Probably Casey and I will do a video where we talk about the movies of the summer that we've seen, or just in general this year so far that have been blowing out our hammies. So about to see Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny a couple days. So yeah, we'll see. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, if you saw this, if you enjoyed it, please watch some of the other stuff. And if you like it enough, give us a subscribe, give us a like, spread the word, tell your friends. It's just crap from the 80s. It's just like sitting around with your buddies, geeking out about the stuff you love. So that's it. That's it. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to go and I'm going to do stuff and then that and the other thing, and we'll see you again. All right, bye.